And we got more carbon fiber and more track preparation planned for today's video, guys, on the C7 Corvette ZR1, but it does apply to most of the C7s out there, so let's jump into it. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the vlog. Thanks for pressing play. Today, we are doing some more carbon fiber parts on the C7 Corvette, and we're also doing a little bit more track preparation. And like I said, it is stuff that all of the C7s can benefit from, not just the ZR1, so yeah, let's do it. All right, guys, so there she sits, getting ready for all the mods we're going to be doing today. So today we have a couple different companies providing us some mods. The first one is going to be Paragon Performance. We haven't really done a lot with Paragon in the past, but just recently we had some serious conversations about how we can really work together. And sure enough, guys, they have some really awesome products. So we're going to start off with some awesome products for the C7 Corvette. And I know a lot of you guys out there right now are saying, wait a second, Justin, I thought Paragon only made parts for the C8 Corvette. Well, they make some for the C7 as well. So let's take a look at what we're going to be doing today. But before we take a look at that, guys, we want to, again, acknowledge the absolute fantastic floor by Epoxy Depot. Check out the link in the description down below if you want to get something like this done on your floor. You guys probably don't remember how bad my floor was at one point. It was pretty bad. The guys from Epoxy Depot took care of it. They even put my channel logo under the clear coat. Fantastic stuff. And also, the guys over at Chrome Domes. Yes, this is a really beautiful example of the C7 Corvette logo. And of course, the C7 ZR1 logo. Both of them are available at the Chrome Domes website. I will put that link in the description down below as well, but really beautiful pieces for your garage. But yeah, anyway, guys, let's talk about the Paragon Performance stuff. That's these right here. You're probably wondering by now, what the heck are those, Justin? Well, I'm about to tell you. Calm down. To really talk about what those are, we got to pop the hatch here on the ZR1 and take a gander at what props this thing up. Now, obviously, my car is a 2019, and yours could be as old as a 2014. I am not having any kind of trouble yet with these struts holding the rear hatch up in place. But whenever I found out that Paragon Performance sold replacement struts that are not only stronger, they're also carbon fiber. Yes, carbon fiber. I mean, it's a sickness. It really is. I mean, once you get a car like this that has carbon fiber on it, you want to keep adding more, and these are no exception. So like I said, what we're going to be replacing today are these struts here and the struts that hold the front hood up as well. It's the same thing. They're not bad yet. These do go bad fairly frequently though, guys. I've seen recently a person with a 2016 Z06 that had to replace one here and one on his hood because it was literally wearing out already. If you're having problems with this staying up or going up as fast as it should, then maybe check out the Paragon Performance ones, which we're gonna look at right now. So right here is one of the struts, still in the bag, but you can see literally the same exact size. The only difference really is the carbon fiber body of it. So let's unbox this thing. All right, so here it is out of the wrapping. Check that out. Beautiful carbon fiber body that will be seen anytime that this hood is propped. From everything I've read, these things perform better than the stock ones. They look better, and yeah, it's carbon fiber. Why the heck not? If you guys are interested, I will of course put links in the description down below. If you are having problems with your stock factory struts, these are a better option because like I said, they'll last longer, they perform a little bit better, and they're carbon fiber. And first, the bench comparison of the two. So obviously the one with the blue writing there is the stock body, and then the carbon fiber Paragon Performance unit. You could tell the shock body is a little thicker on the Paragon Performance unit. It also has adjustable heads here that unscrew to allow full adjustability, and even the actual shock part is a little bit thicker. So it should handle the weight of the trunk lid a little bit better. It should also stand up to time a little bit better. Like I said, mine were not bad yet, but at the same time, if yours do go bad, these are a fantastic replacement idea because, yeah, carbon fiber. And I already have one on the car so you can see it. And it's very visible. Carbon fiber is very visible whenever it's open. And it will be the same for the hood because you can see the entire shock body right there. Now, this is going to matter especially on the ZR1 here because, you know, I got all this other carbon fiber that's visible when the hood is popped for car shows. Now that will be a visible carbon fiber body as well. So definitely going to look pretty cool, but it's also going to kind of serve a purpose. Like I said, these make the trunk a little easier to open. It actually opens by itself a little bit easier. Check out the link in the description down below, but I'm going to show you how to install them right now. These are really, really easy to install, guys. The big thing you want to do with the aftermarket part from Paragon Performance before you start is to actually loosen the clamp here at the top of the head. Just stick a small screwdriver down in there, pry it up until you can also slide it back with your thumb. That is now ready for installation. This is the same exact thing you'll do with both ends, and the same thing you're going to do on the stock unit to remove it. Now, once you put this on the stock ball that holds to the car, you would then just slide that clip back down and it is held in place and ready to go. Now here on the car, this is the stock rear hatch strut, and it's the same kind of thing. We're going to stick a screwdriver into that clip and pry it back to get it off of the stock ball that holds it in place. It's really a ball and socket type setup here that holds it all together. Now for these ones, I've noticed a little bit of a thicker screwdriver is a little bit better for this. Gives you a little bit more maneuverability. Since it is on the car, we can just do that, slide it back, and as you can see, it is now off of the ball. So if I lift up on the trunk lid a little bit, I can actually pop that out. Now this is another thing where you're gonna wanna have probably 2 people in place or a broom handle or something to hold this thing up while you're removing this, because one strut will not hold it up. So in this case, if you lift up on the latch, just move it around a little bit, you'll be able to pop this off of the ball that's holding it in place. So just like that, stock one comes out. And as you can see, one shock doesn't want to hold the hatch here. So because we prepared the Paragon one over on the bench, we're good now to just go ahead, pop it in there, and then come up underneath it and pop the top on. As soon as we slide the clips back into place, which is easy as just grabbing it and sliding them back, just like that. So a close and an open. Oh, wow. Yeah, those actually work a good bit better than the stock ones. They lift that hatch up a lot easier. There's like no weight to it at all. Plus, of course, they look really cool. So again, at car shows and whatnot, if you have that popped for any reason, you're gonna see the carbon fiber of the spoiler. You're gonna see the carbon fiber of the trunk latches here, carbon fiber of the intakes, side skirts, all the good stuff. And I didn't think that there was anything wrong with mine, but the one on the passenger side is actually pretty greasy, showing that it was leaking. You can see it's all covered in grease, and whenever I touched it, it was showing obviously black liquid on my hand. So I think the passenger side one was in fact leaking already. Anyway, Paragon Performance fixes that for me. Now, like I said, I do have the ones for the front as well. The only problem with this is these are going to be a little more difficult to get to. So the top part is pretty easy, it's right there, but then the bottom part is way down in there. So it's going to be a little bit of a challenge on this side, but over there, let's take a look at it, because it is completely hidden by the intake. So we're gonna probably have to pop the intake out to get to the struts on this side too. But it's gonna look really good on here, because obviously on the ZR1, the entire hood is carbon fiber with the carbon fiber pieces here and there, and then along with the front splitter. It's definitely needed. Maybe we'll find one of these there's no good too. So we have to take the intake apart anyway, because the other part of this video is a new filter. As you guys know, I'm doing all kinds of things with the car to get it ready for the track, and yeah, the air filter is the next one. I said in the previous video we were doing filters and fluids, and we never got to that filter. So that's the big thing with the track preparation, is changing all of the filters, all of the fluids, including the brake fluid, which will be done as well. So I was able to do the driver's side one just by feel, and we can look at the 2 different heads here. This is the stock one, and again, covered in grease. So I think this one might be leaking as well, compared to the Paragon Performance one, which has a thicker shaft and a slightly thicker shock body as well, again with that carbon fiber. So I do believe that one will hold up a little bit better over time. And for any of you who don't know, this is a carbon fiber hood on the ZR1, fully carbon fiber on the bottom and top. Very lightweight, probably barely needs these struts anyway, but one strut is enough to hold it up. So we'll go ahead and get this one replaced, and then we'll work on getting that one out. As you guys were able to see there, I do have the Jake intake, and that filter has been in there for about 12,000 to 14,000 miles, and it's probably not spent, but I want as fresh as I possibly can get for the track use. And there it is, done, guys. Not super difficult, but it is impossible to film while I was doing it because it is all down in there. And to try to give you a little bit of a better idea, I'm going to turn on the flash. You can see where it mounts down there. Now, like I said, this is ZR1 specific there, but all of the C7s have a mount like this on the hood. So if you're wondering where yours is on a ZR1, that's where it's at, way down there. And it will be the same kind of location for the passenger side as well. And before we wrap this video up, guys, if you want to get a set of struts like this for your own C7 Corvette, you can use the discount code HPO STRUT, all caps, on the Paragon Performance website to save yourself 5% off of these. We got one of the struts in the front done here. The other one needs to be done, but before we can get to that, we have to take off the supercharger cover, the water deflector, which will then give us access to that strut, as well as changing out that air filter that we've been talking about for the track purposes. So through the power of internet magic, let's go ahead and get all of that stuff removed. And just like that, it's done. Now we're going to focus on that air intake over there. We got to get that out of there before we have access to the strut, as well as replacing that air filter with something pretty cool. We're going to talk a little bit about it. We're going to go ahead and take the air filter out of here because, like I said, I have about 12 to 13,000 miles on this air filter. This is the Jake intake, in case you guys haven't seen this before. This is the performance intake from GM. You can kind of see through the window here to see if it's dirty. It doesn't look super dirty, but the element is a gray kind of color to begin with, so we're going to compare it to the new one once we pull it out of there. And then we're going to talk about something really cool that's coming very soon. So here we have the air filter, guys. This is the one that's been in there for about 12 or 13,000 miles. And I don't know if you'll be able to tell on camera, but that is a significantly darker gray than the new one. So it is definitely dirty. Again, not sure it needed to be replaced, but we're already here in this area and we're doing some track work with the car, so I wanted it to be as ready to go as possible. And you can definitely tell it is dirty, but like I said, probably didn't need to be replaced. Either way, the thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is the really cool thing coming from TKO Performance. Now, you guys have probably heard this term from me before because I do a lot of work with TKO Performance and their Attack Blue air filters. I'm actually the one that tested out the Attack Blue air filter on the C8 Corvette, chose the one that made the most horsepower, and that's the one that is running currently. So I had, I think, 12 or 13 prototypes that I had to test, and once I figured out which one made the most horsepower, I let him know, and he went to market with it. Now, by now, you're probably wondering, well, Justin, what the heck does that mean? What are we waiting for here? Well, one of the glaring absences for TKO Performance and their Attack Blue air filter is the C7 Corvette with the Jake intake. Now, this is technically aftermarket, but it is from GM. And right now, Attack Blue does not offer an air filter that will work with it until now. Well, until very soon. So basically, I'm replacing this for track use, and then right afterwards, I'm going to get some prototypes from Ed. And yes, TKO Performance is finally going to make an aftermarket air filter for the Jake intake box that will allow us to have reusability, nanofiber filtration, and best of all, made in America. So we're going to go ahead and put this one in for now. And if you guys don't know, this replacement air filter is over $100. And this is not reusable. You can't clean these. Once these things are spent, you throw them away and you buy another one for $100. Odds are very good. The new one coming from Attack Blue is going to be very comparable in price, and it's going to be reusable. So I'm really, really anxious to see what ends up coming. But anyway, guys, let's go ahead and get this new clean air filter in here, get this car ready for the track, and we're going to replace this final strut. So with the air box out, just so we're all on the same page here, I got the final strut on, but it was not super easy even with the air box out. I actually had to remove a bolt from here that actually removed a bracket that held two different coolant tubes in place. And this is the bracket right here. So this goes underneath and then bolts to the fender well right there. I had to remove that in order to gain access to the head right there of the strut. So it's done. We're gonna go ahead and put the air box back in, and then we'll wrap this video up. All right, guys, and just like that, everything is buttoned back up. We got the new air filter in with the TKO Performance one coming very soon, so stay tuned for that if you're interested in a reusable Jake intake filter. But carbon fiber struts are in place on the C7, and the best part is we actually have some carbon fiber struts, for the C8 Corvette as well. So as you guys know, I have a C8 Z06 coming in less than a month. These will be one of the first things to go on. And yes, you can save 5% on these or the ones for the C7. All you gotta do is check out the code right down below here, and you save 5% on the struts purchased from Paragon Performance. Now, like I said, your mileage may vary because, of course, these cars have been made from 2014 all the way up to 2019. If you have a C7 in general, your struts may be failing, because I actually had one that was failing on the rear hatch here, and I didn't even know it was leaking. So this is a really good upgrade to do, especially if your hatch or your hood is sagging at all. So definitely check them out. Links in the description down below. But guys, that's going to do it for today's video. So if you liked what you saw here, smash the thumbs up button. Let me know you're liking the content so we can keep doing these how-to / product discovery videos for you guys. If you like this kind of stuff, like I said, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss anything like this coming in the future. And as always, guys, I will catch you in the next upload.